y'all, welcome to Friday's Kitchen. Welcome back if you have been here before. In today's video, we are making this oh so good, socket to meat cream cheese pound cake. If you are interested in seeing how I made this, stay tuned. While you're here, please take a moment to look down below, press that red subscribe button, and join the family. Here we have all of our ingredients for the cake. We're going to start with 3 cups of cake flour with 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, 6 eggs at room temperature, 3 cups of granulated sugar. We'll be using 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract, 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese, 3 sticks of unsalted butter. And here we have our sugar cinnamon mixture. We have 3/4 cup of light brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, and 1 cup of chopped pecans. For our glaze, we are going to need 1 cup of powdered sugar, a splash of vanilla extract, and 2 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon of heavy whipping cream. We will make the glaze once we have put our cake into the oven. We are going to start by adding the 8-ounce package of cream cheese and 3 sticks of butter to the mixer. All of these items are at room temperature, so they should mix really well once we turn the mixer on. Okay, so now we are going to turn the mixer on and mix until we have these items well incorporated. Please excuse that shadow on the bowl. I forgot to turn the ring light on. Now that we have mixed the cream cheese and butter together, we are going to go ahead and add the granulated sugar to the mixture. We want to take our time and mix this really well, and you'll know that it's almost ready when the color starts to lighten and it becomes really light and fluffy. Okay, so now we're going to turn the mixer off and we are going to scrape down the sides of the bowl. Once that's been taken care of, we're turning the mixer back on and continuing to mix. Okay, so now we're going to turn the mixer off once again and scrape down the sides of the bowl. And you can see the color, it's lightened a bit, and it's just really soft and smooth. At this point, we are going to turn the mixer on again, and we're going to begin to add our eggs one at a time. When adding the eggs, try to make sure the yolk from the previous egg has broken and began to mix in a bit. That's when you know it's okay to go ahead and add another. It's time to turn the mixer off again, scrape down the sides of the bowl, and then we're going to get ready to add our vanilla extract to the mixture. Now it's time to add the vanilla extract. I'm adding about 2 tablespoons. I'm just eyeing it, but feel free to use a spoon to measure. Now that the vanilla is mixed in, we are going to begin to add the flour mixture in a little at a time. So I'm going to add some, mix that in well, then add some more until I've used all of the flour. Now that we've added all of the flour, I'm once again turning the mixer off so I can scrape down the sides of the bowl. Make sure to get the bottom of the bowl as well, just trying to make sure I have everything well incorporated into the batter. Now that I have done that, I'm turning the mixer on one final time just to give everything one final mix, and then we will move on to putting our batter into the cake pan. Okay, so here we have our bundt pan. I am going to generously spray it with Pam baking spray. Okay, so now that our pan has been sprayed, we are going to go ahead and start to assemble the cake in the pan. So we're starting with putting a layer of the cake batter into the pan. Now, typically with socket to me cake, there will be one layer of the brown sugar, cinnamon, and pecans in the middle of the cake, but I wanted to make 2 layers instead of one. So I'm using about 1/3 of the cake batter here. I'm going to smooth that out, and then you will see that I add some of the pecan brown sugar and cinnamon mixture on top. Okay, so here I am. I'm going to go ahead and put a layer on top of the cake batter. I made a little extra of the filling primarily because I knew I wanted to do 2 layers of it. Also, I wanted to save some to sprinkle on top of the cake after I had glazed it. And so I knew that anything that I had left over, I could just add to my oatmeal in the morning. So if you do decide to use this recipe, you can cut the filling recipe in half if you want, if you don't want that much of the filling in your cake. Completely up to you. So now that I've added a layer on top of the cake batter, I'm just going in with a fork and just kind of pushing it down a bit so it's not just sitting on top of the batter and it's actually mixed in just a little. Okay, so now it's time to go in with the second layer of cake batter. I'm just adding another third of the batter to the pan. Once I've done that, I'm going to smooth it out again and then add the second layer of the filling. Okay, so now it's time to go in with the second layer of the filling. Just like the first time, I'm just going to spread some evenly on top of the batter. Once I've gotten it all on there, I'm going to take my fork again and kind of press it down into the batter. Okay, so here we go with our final layer of the cake batter. I'm just gonna add the rest of it to the top of the pan. Once I've done that, I'm gonna go ahead and smooth it out as much as I can to try and prevent from seeing any of the filling. And once we smooth that out, it will be time to put the cake into the oven. I can already smell that cinnamon coming through, so I know this cake is going to smell amazing as it is baking in the oven. Okay, so now we have all of our batter and filling into the cake pan. I am now tapping it a few times to kind of help everything settle and help release any air bubbles that may be trapped inside. We are now going to bake the cake for 1 hour and 30 minutes in our 300-degree oven. Okay, so now that we have put our cake into the oven, we are going to go ahead and make our glaze for the cake. Here I have 1 cup of powdered sugar, and to that I am adding just a splash of vanilla extract. You will see throughout this process that I gradually add more and more heavy cream to the sugar. I'm doing so until I reach my desired consistency. In total, I ended up adding 2 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon of heavy whipping cream to my sugar to get my desired consistency. You can add more liquid to the sugar if you want a looser glaze. You can add less if you want a thicker glaze. It's completely up to you. It's also not necessary to use heavy whipping cream. That's what I had on hand, so that's what I decided to use. You can use milk. You can even use water if you choose. Again, completely up to you. This is exactly how I want it. Okay, so here we are 1 hour, 30 minutes later. I have taken the cake out of the oven. That cinnamon is coming through and this cake smells so good. So I'm gonna let it sit in the pan for 10 to 15 minutes and then I will turn it out onto the plate. Okay, so it has been about 15 minutes now and I am about to put the cake onto the plate. All right, as you can see, it released with no issues at all. There was no sticking to the pan. It looks really, really good. Here is a little close up before I add the glaze to the cake. We're gonna let the cake cool for a bit before we glaze it. I'm gonna try to wait an hour. We can see if I can hold out that long. So yeah, in the next shot, we will actually be glazing the cake. All right, so here's the glaze that I made earlier, and I am just drizzling it on top of the cake. Now that the glaze has been added to the cake and it is still wet, we are now going to go through and add a little of the filling that we saved and sprinkle it on top of the cake. I don't want a whole lot, just enough to kind of make the cake look a little prettier. This is the filling that I have left over. As I stated earlier, it will not go to waste. I'll just add that to my oatmeal. And here we have our finished product, our Sock It To Me cream cheese pound cake. It looks good, it smells good. I've now tried it and I can honestly say it tastes good. Really, really good. If you guys have any questions about anything at all, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section and I will be sure to reply. If you've made it this far into the video, please take a moment to look down below, press the red subscribe button, join the family, come back for some more recipes. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.